In just 25 years, China has pulled off the most dramatic urban transformation in human history. Cities that were once filled with low-rise buildings and bicycles are now home to glittering skyscrapers, high-speed rail networks, and some of the largest urban populations on the planet. But how did this happen? How did China's cities go from sprawling factory hubs to some of the most advanced urban centers in the world? Today, we'll take a deep dive into the numbers, the stories, and the forces that have shaped modern China's urban revolution. To understand the rapid transformation of Chinese cities in the 21st century, we must first look back at their historical roots. For centuries, Chinese civilization was centered around agrarian societies, with cities functioning primarily as administrative and trade hubs. Ancient capitals like Chang'an, now Xi'an, Luoyang, and Beijing were meticulously planned, featuring rigid grid layouts, towering walls, and imperial palaces. These cities symbolized centralized power, with commerce and daily life revolving around the imperial court and bureaucracy. During the late 19th and early 20th centuries, China's cities began to modernize under foreign influence, especially in treaty ports like Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Tianjin, where European colonial powers introduced industrial infrastructure and Western-style urban planning. However, the true urban transformation began after 1949, when the Communist Party took control. The government prioritized heavy industry, turning cities into centers of state-owned factories, while rural-urban migration was tightly restricted. By 1978, only about 18% of China's population lived in cities. Everything changed with Deng Xiaoping's economic reforms in 1978, which dismantled the planned economy, encouraged foreign investment, and ignited urbanization on an unprecedented scale. Cities like Shenzhen, once a fishing village, became megacities within decades. From 1990 onwards, urban growth exploded, laying the foundation for the dramatic transformation that would define China in the 21st century. At the turn of the 21st century, China's urban population stood at 36% of the total population, just over 450 million people. Fast forward to 2025, and over 65% of China's 1.4 billion people now live in cities. That's a staggering 920 million urban residents, an increase of nearly 500 million in just 2.5 decades. To put that into perspective, that's like building 2 United States worth of urban population in just 25 years. China's largest cities, Shanghai, Beijing, Shenzhen, Guangzhou, and Chengdu, have exploded in population and economic power. In 2000, Shanghai had a population of 16 million. By 2025, that number has soared to nearly 29 million, making it one of the world's most populous cities. In 2000, many Chinese cities were still heavily industrial, with vast factory complexes and mid-rise buildings dominating the landscape. But today, cities have been reshaped into high-density, mixed-use urban environments, with towering skyscrapers and master-planned central business districts. One of the best examples is Shenzhen, a city that had only 8 million residents in 2000, now home to over 17 million. Shenzhen has transformed into China's Silicon Valley, housing major tech giants like Huawei and Tencent. The city's skyline, once filled with old factory buildings, now boasts some of the world's tallest skyscrapers, including the 599-meter Ping Finance Center. Land use has also shifted dramatically. In 2000, Chinese cities had vast industrial zones, often polluting and inefficient. But by 2025, many of these zones have been converted into high-tech districts, green spaces, and commercial hubs. The city of Suzhou, for example, transformed its industrial park into a global financial and tech hub, attracting over 5,000 foreign enterprises. Perhaps the most visible change in Chinese cities has been the rapid rise of CBDs. 25 years ago, most cities had a traditional downtown area, but lacked the towering financial districts that define global metropolises like New York or London. Today, China has dozens of futuristic CBDs, home to massive office towers, shopping malls, and luxury apartments. Take Guangzhou's Zhujiang New Town, once an underdeveloped area, now home to the iconic Guangzhou IFC Tower, a vast network of underground shopping centers, and thousands of multinational corporations. Similarly, Beijing's Chang'an district has evolved into a financial powerhouse, home to the CITIC Tower, the tallest building in Beijing, at 528 meters. Back in 2000, China's economy was primarily manufacturing-driven, producing goods for export. But by 2025, China's cities have shifted towards high-tech industries, finance, and innovation. Employment in tech, finance, and service sectors has skyrocketed. In 2000, only 30% of China's workforce was employed in services. By 2025, that number has surpassed 55%. This shift has dramatically changed income levels and living standards. For example, in 2000, the average urban salary in China was around $3,000 per year. By 2025, this has grown to over $15,000 per year, with top-tier cities like Shanghai and Beijing exceeding $25,000 per year. China's urban middle class has expanded dramatically. In 2000, only 4% of Chinese households were considered middle class. Today, over 60% of urban residents fall into this category, fueling an unprecedented boom in consumer spending, real estate, and domestic tourism. In the early 2000s, most Chinese cities were still dominated by bicycles and outdated bus systems. But today, China's cities boast some of the most advanced public transportation networks in the world. Metro systems have expanded massively. In 2000, China had only 3 metro systems: Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou. By 2025, over 50 cities have metro networks, with combined track length exceeding 10,000 kilometers, the longest in the world. Shanghai's metro alone spans 831 kilometers, making it the largest urban transit system on the planet. Beyond metros, China's high-speed rail system has reshaped urban commuting. In 2000, high-speed rail didn't even exist in China. By 2025, China has built over 42,000 kilometers of high-speed rail, connecting cities in record time. The Beijing-Shanghai route, covering 1,318 kilometers, now takes just 4.5 hours instead of 12 to 15 hours by conventional trains. The early 2000s saw Chinese cities struggle with severe pollution, traffic congestion, and poor air quality. But over the past 25 years, China has launched massive efforts to improve urban livability. Air pollution has significantly decreased. Cities like Beijing, notorious for their smog, have cut PM 2.5 pollution levels by over 50% thanks to clean energy initiatives, electric vehicle adoption, and coal reduction policies. Green spaces have also expanded. In 2000, Chinese cities had limited parks, but by 2025, China has built over 50,000 new urban parks, adding millions of square meters of green space. Shenzhen, for example, now has over 1,000 parks, making it one of the greenest megacities in the world. Smart city initiatives have also played a role in improving urban life. Shanghai and Hangzhou have implemented AI-driven traffic management systems, reducing congestion by 30%. Digital payments, facial recognition ticketing in public transport, and AI-powered waste management systems have made everyday life more seamless and efficient. Between 2000 and 2025, Chinese cities have undergone a once-in-a-century transformation. Urban populations have doubled, skylines have soared, industries have evolved, and public transport has reached levels unseen anywhere else in the world. But what comes next? By 2030, China aims to be carbon neutral, pushing for even more green cities, smarter infrastructure, and a fully electric public transport system. The expansion of second-tier cities like Chengdu, Wuhan, and Hangzhou will continue, reducing reliance on megacities like Shanghai and Beijing. China's urban miracle is far from over. If anything, the most exciting phase is yet to come. The next time you step onto a high-speed train in China or look up at its ever-growing skyline, just remember, this transformation happened in just 25 years. What will the next 25 bring?